knew that because I was told if you work in an elementary school, you'll be trained to administer Narcan properly. Elementary school children who may come in with an overdose, and that you as a staff member in an elementary school would need to be able to respond to that. It's my responsibility to be more aware if they do come to me with questions. But if I go to my school website, I don't know if I would be able to give them a sufficient answer.
This has been a Rainier Avenue Radio message on fentanyl in our communities.
Greetings. This is your host, DJ Neftali, Rainier Avenue Radio.world, the best DJ in the Seattle area. You can catch me every Monday at 8 p.m. on YouTube. Like I said, this is DJ Neftali, the best reggae in Seattle, Washington, the best radio station, Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Mom, right?
Hello, listener. What's important to you about what's going on in your community? Are you interested? Are you concerned? In any case, I invite you to tune into my show, Seattle Here and Now, on Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Why? I will be covering a wide range of topics important to you and impacting the community. Each show will have a special guest or guests to share with you information on a variety of subjects that are happening here and now in Seattle. I promise I will work hard to make my show informative, interesting, and entertaining. Be sure to listen to Seattle Here and Now on Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Are you in need of new or gently used clothing? Hope's Community Closet is here to help. We offer a wide range of clothing for men, women, youth, children, and infants. Join us on the fourth Saturday of each month from 12:30 to 4 at the Silent Task Force. We're giving clothing with care, community with heart. Lovely Ladies Lemonade for sale, and shop to the sound of old school soul. Any questions? Contact Alicia Kennedy, Executive Director of Women United at 206-316-7601. 206-316-7601. Come and find the perfect outfit for you and your family. We look forward to seeing you there.
You know you can't get enough of Rainier Avenue Radio.
Well, hello everyone, and thank you for joining another episode of Real Estate and Money. Hope everybody is doing fine. Hope everybody's enjoying spring. We are now in full swing. It has been past Memorial Day, which means we are in full swing out of spring. We're into summer. So we're going to talk to you about some summer projects that you can get into, but today also we're going to be focusing on, once again, living over 55, living in some assisted living or retirement communities, and how that benefits us. So, you know, there are a lot of people turning around, and next thing you know, they're over 55. I'm over 55. But there are places, there are choices that you can make. Either you want to go into full retirement now, or maybe you still want to continue working, and maybe travel, you know, every so often, and maybe you still want to live on your own. Who knows? Maybe you want to live in a retirement community, and that's the information we're going to bring to you today. So while we're waiting for Violeta to come on, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Denver area. You know, the Denver area has consistently been one of the top places in the United States to actually come and retire. And one of the reasons for that is because we have the quality of life that everybody's looking for. We've got clean air, we're high in the mountains, pollution, that sort of thing doesn't really touch this area here in Denver. And as far as the beauty, we've got the mountains, we've got lakes, we've got trees, we've got a whole bunch of different things that would be conducive to healthy living. So Daniel, I just gave you a link right there on our chat site. I'd like for you to bring up that link. This link is showing you some of the areas in the Denver area, the Colorado area, or specifically my area, in which there is senior living. So we have the Quincy Place, and that is in Denver. As you can see, it's a sprawling facility there. And I'm pretty sure they've got music, amenities, they've got exercise amenities, they've got tour amenities, they've got a lot of different things if you are in that senior community and you would like to live somewhere and still enjoy the finer things in life. The next one we have there is Brookdale Tarmac Square. As you can see, this is the high rise. It looks like somebody living in an apartment building in a high-rise situation where you're just having active living, and it looks like here it's in the middle of Denver, so you still are capable of living a life in downtown Denver and still enjoying the amenities of apartment life. And if you go to the next one there, it looks like Harvard Square Retirement and Senior Living. Now, this is also a place that's in the area, and a lot of these places, I used to actually play the piano, and I'd sing, and I'd go kind of for volunteer work, and I played at a couple of these places here. And when you go there, they've got happy hour, they've got game night, they got bingo, they've got karaoke night. So there's a lot of amenities here besides just a fabulous facility to live in. And the last one here, Dan, before we bring Violeta on, I've got Brookdale University Park. Now, for those of you living in the Colorado area, if you do like to live in the hubbub of everything, right in the middle of the city, and a place where there's active nightlife and active day life, and there's parks, and there's all types of community around you, Brookdale University Park, Colorado is a specific place that you may want to check out. So let's go ahead. So is Violeta in, Daniel? Okay, she's not in yet. Okay, that's fine. We'll just wait for her to come. So, when you get to the age where you're, let's say 55, 60, 65, some of my friends in the 60s, they're still living their life, living in their home. They have their home, they have plenty of equity in it, and they've got no reason or no desire to live elsewhere. Now, a lot of times, though, when we get up in age, we start thinking about, hey, I want to go to Rome. I want to go to Italy. I want to go to Bali. I'd like to see Japan. I'd like to go see Egypt. And a lot of times we're traveling. We've worked all our life, and we've gone to Disneyland, or we've gone to Florida, or we went to go see something in Washington State, but we never really took a real vacation. So when you get up in the years and you're kind of on your bucket list, that time of your life where you're starting your bucket list, a lot of times you want to travel. You're not necessarily home. You're not there to maintain your yard. You're not there to take care of your pets. You're not there to to do the active maintenance in your house. You're out there traveling. You're doing things on your own. So what do? Well, you either sell your house, you get somebody to rent your house, or you move into an active life or some type of facility where you can have your cake and eat it too. Where somebody there is taking care of the lawn, somebody's there is taking care of the maintenance, they're making sure the lights are on. You don't have to be worried about theft or anything like that. If you do live in an assisted living situation, they actually can take care of your home while you go out there and you travel. So this makes a lot of sense for people, let's say, they're in their early 70s and they just really don't want to worry about their house. They just want to be footloose and fancy free. It's great to just go ahead and be in an assisted living situation where somebody else can take care of that. So it looks like Violeta's ready. So is V on? There you are, my dear. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Good to see you.
I was going out, coming back in. It's just so confusing.
Okay.
Well, how are you?
I'm doing good. Okay.
I got my irises in the background, I think, and I'm sorry I couldn't get your background on.
Oh, that's okay. That's beautiful. I would have loved that background.
Oh.
But that's okay. You match you and I match me. I got my purple and blue on, so
yeah.
So V, I was talking a little bit about, people are in that age, over 55, there's community centers around, and I actually showed a list of some opportunities here in Denver where there are certain senior living facilities that you may look at. And I was saying, V, over 55, 59, 60, 61, we're still, footloose, fancy free. We're still running around. I mean, 60 is the new 35. I mean, basically,
Yes.
and we actually do have the opportunity to retire earlier and to start enjoying life. And I was talking about travel. I'm not just going to go to Vegas for the weekend anymore. I'm not just going to go to Miami for the weekend. I want to go on a 2-week vacation to Greece, to London or Japan or Bali. And so this is the time in my life where I need to take off. And who's going to watch my house? Who's going to feed my dog? This time in my life, I want to explore the earth. I'm going to be here and there and everywhere. I'm going to be traveling. And if I travel, does it really make sense to still pay a mortgage? Does it really make sense to stay in my house? Should I rent it? So, a good compromise would be to be in a assisted living situation or someplace where there's community where you don't have those worries.
Yes. And Tina, did you, I sent you a file.
Okay.
To your email on some 55 plus communities in the area. I hope you can share that. I didn't send it to Daniel. Are you able to
okay.
share it?
Let me look here. Let me look.
Yeah.
Let me pull it up.
Anyway, while she's looking, yeah, there's so many options, especially if you're around our age, and we're all empty nesters now, pretty much, or close to that, and there's so many more things you can do now. You used to be. It's crazy when you go out on vacations with all the kids and all the people, and now you can just do a quiet little river cruise in Europe, let's say, and just go to all these different places. Australia, there's so many great things to do and see. If you're into tennis, go catch any of the matches. The French Open, Wimbledon, Australian Open. There's so many, and even in New York, there's so many things to see and do. If you feel like there's all these things in your bucket list, do it now. You might be close to retirement.
Exactly. Yes.
Get a taste of what you could do out there after you do retire. Me, I'm not going to retire till I'm, dead.
Exactly.
In my chair. But do you have the pictures? Do you have the PowerPoint, Tina?
I'm gonna try. I'm trying to pull it up while you're talking. I'm gonna try. And pull
okay.
Up
all right. What else were you talking about? To do? Yeah. There's a lot of places where you can go to travel with your pets too. Travel around the country in an RV, for example. That can't be a home. It's considered a vehicle, but let's take a look at doing an option like that, a home away from home for a month. Bring your pets, and everybody would be happy and be together, because basically that's all you got left. The kids are gone. It's your dogs, your cats. You can travel with them, I think.
Yes.
Friends of mine were thinking about renting a motorhome and traveling with their 3 cats, 2 or 3 cats, and
wow, that's pretty smart.
Interesting. Yeah. So, anyway,
yeah.
I was just in Michigan, and to travel to different places, do a museum tour, do a stadium tour if you're into football, baseball. There's all kinds of wonderful, beautiful museums around sporting events. And we went to the Henry Ford Museum in Michigan, and that was amazing, truly amazing. There's so much, and you need to go back a couple times to see everything. And that's the way it is in foreign countries too. Never been to these places. Of course, you want to experience so much. But
and here's the thing, V. A lot of people, before we were empty nesters, we bought our houses when our kids were small, close to the school they were going to go to, and now they're up, footloose, fancy free, they're gone, and we've got all this equity sitting in our house, and we're kind of staring at the walls, and if you need, you pull out money, pull out equity in your house. You don't have to drain your savings or anything, but if you're still kicking, 59 years old, 67 years old. Pull a home equity loan out. Take that trip. Take that trip to London. Take that trip to, like you said, all the different places. I mean, you were more specific, like Wimbledon. I mean, you were more specific too. But I mean, if you want to, wade in the waters of Greece or something like that, or you want to go to Bali, tap into the equity of your house. Don't. It's so sad, V, when I have people and they're applying for loans to take their parents' house. Their parents 87 years old, and they never went anywhere. And they kept saying, I wanted to go to Fiji. I wanted to go to Australia. I wanted to go to Chile, but I never did. And they're 80-something years old, and they never really used the time.
And at that point, their health is not good. They probably cannot travel. They're not very mobile. And what a pain that is to travel with somebody that you need to help around,
Exactly. So you don't want to be a pain. No, you don't want to be a pain.
You don't want to be a pain in the what? Because it could be a grueling walking trip. Like a lot of places in Europe and Asia, walking.
Yes.
You don't take any mass transit to do things unless you're on a tour. Of course, ages ago we went to the Soviet Union. Had a tour around Kremlin. Yeah,
Wow,
it's
wow.
amazing. Yeah, and to look
See?
at the lifestyle of different people, just observe. Yeah, truly amazing. But you need to be able to get around because that tour guide is not going to be looking back or trailing the rest of the group because of you.
No, this is it. Well, so Daniel does have your presentation ready to go.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me take a look at all these local communities, 55 plus communities. And I don't know why it's blue like that.
But,
is that the way it's going to be? Oh,
well, no, I see King County. I see the Trilogy at Redmond Ridge.
yeah, but the background is all blue. Is that right, Daniel? I don't know. But anyway, look at this. You know, these are options. In King County, here's a great one in Redmond. But you're going to pay 1.1, a little bit over that for 2 bedrooms, 2 baths for 1,920 square feet. I don't know.
Well, those people in Redmond, they make that per year, so you know.
Yeah, those are the Microsoft people, right?
Yeah.
And HOA dues, I think Tina talked about maintenance around your home. Now, HOA dues for a lot of these communities, they will maintain any common areas, like if it's a gated community, if there are signs introducing the community, a welcome area, the clubhouse, and lawn maintenance, mainly for your front yard in these 55 plus communities. Those are all part of the HOA dues. So in this case, it's 320. That's not too bad. And then you go down to Black Diamond, the Regency at 10 Trails. Now this design, you'll see it somewhere else coming up, but it's a new construction by Toll Brothers. $648,995 is the price of a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,389 square foot home, but brand new. 415 includes all those lawn maintenance, lawn services, and internet on this one. Then we move on to Pierce County. Next page. Oh, no, one before that.
One back.
Yep, there you go. Verterra at Tahali, Bonnie Lake. There's one that is similar to the last one I just showed you for $684,235. 2-bedroom, 2-bath, a little bit larger, $1,643, $248.56 for the HOA dues. And then the last one in Pierce County is Autumnwood at Brooktree in Tacoma, $529,990. They all kind of look the same, don't they? But this one is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,833 square feet. And very, very good price on the HOA for a gated community, $164 a month. These are all per month costs. And a lot of these, especially up in Bonnie Lake or in the Trilogy in Redmond Ridge, there's a lot of trees. And on all these places, miles of hiking trails. There's fitness centers, pools, spas, golf courses, and pet parks. There's pickleball, bocce ball, a lot of different options. And, you know, I placed a friend over in the Verterra at Tahali and Bonnie Lake at the beginning of the last year. And she is just enjoying it. She thought, oh, my God, I'm moving so far away from my friends, but this is kind of what I can afford. And we'll see how it goes. But you know what? She doesn't see her friends anymore because she's so busy with her neighbors. They're all doing all kinds of stuff. Happy hours here, movie night, bunko. They have a chili cook-off. She's arts and crafts and walking all these trails and shopping excursions. And it's like, oh my God, her friends are now saying, we don't see her anymore. She doesn't want to hang out with us anymore. She's too busy with her new friends. And, you know, especially if you're into golf, you can golf every day if you want, because, you know, you're retired or semi-retired, 55 plus communities. All those people are very active. And, you know, it's so much fun. It's a different lifestyle. You get used to it very quickly, and you feel like you're missing out if you don't do all these different things, like chocolate making for Valentine's Day. It's like so much, and it would be a lot of fun. And trust me, you can never be lonely. There's someone always at your door saying, "You want to come out and play?"
Oh yeah. I mean, like me, I've got my neighbor next door. We're out there. I was at her house drinking until 1 o'clock in the morning last night. And I just stumbled over back to my house.
And then one last slide. Daniel, have you ever seen this, Tina, in Des Moines? This old historical building. It looks like The Shining. Yeah. Down there in Des Moines by the water.
Overlooking the cliff. Yeah, actually, I had some services over there.
Oh, wow.
It looks like it's all granite and marble and everything inside. It's absolutely, really? It overlooks the bay, doesn't it? Overlooks the water.
The sound, it's pretty close to the sound. I bet you have a great view from one of those rooms, but it looks kind of creepy to me. I know it's all gated off, and I'm so interested in going in there to see what it's like.
It looks like Batman, the movie Batman, his house.
Oh yeah, his mansion.
Batman.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a bat cave right around the back there somewhere underneath.
Yeah, so it is beautiful.
Really amazing. And I hope they never tear it down. I hope they just remodel and, keep it.
Yes.
Because
it's gorgeous.
So interesting. But I wouldn't live there. That wouldn't be my kind of a 55 plus community. It's close to Huntington Park, which is a 55 plus single story, a lot of those single story homes, older community, and older as far as built, the age of the house. But very nice area of Des Moines. So gorgeous. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you for showing those.
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, there you go.
Yeah.
V,
a lot of options.
Let me tell you, V, this is what's really sad is I do a lot of loans for people. I do a lot of loans for the kids, or I do a lot of loans for people who are elderly. And a lot of them, they kept saving for a rainy day. And they're 79 years old, and they haven't been anywhere. They haven't been to Cancun, they haven't been to London, they haven't been to Paris, and they're not doing anything. And they've been living their whole life for their kids, to pass money down to their kids. And a lot of them have done things right, and their kids are making more money than them. Their kids are like doing fine. Their kids are like, I don't want your house. It took me 18 years to get out of the house. I don't want your house. I'm not going back. And so a lot of times, I'm not saying you have to put yourself first, but in this time of your life, you have to put yourself first, because you're not able to go back and do the things you want to do. I know my mother went back to the Philippines a couple times before she passed away, but she waited until she was elderly in life. We don't want to do that. If you're active, you're 60 years old, you're early 70s, and you're running around there like Cher, and you're doing your thing, get out there, take that money out of your house. And a lot of times I saw some of your houses like 1.148 million, or there was 629,000. A lot of my clients, they've had their house for 28 years, and their house is worth $850,000, and they owe $49,000 on it. Take that equity out of your house. Your kids don't want your house. They don't want your house. Okay, your house was built in 1903. Your kids don't want your house. Take that equity, and use it for yourself. And it's not being selfish. I'm telling you, when you leave your house behind, if something should happen, if you get sick, or the day comes where you are called to heaven, your kids don't want to go through your house and clear out all the hoarding and everything else. They don't want to do that. They want to see that you're in a happy place and that you're happy. So if you have all this equity in your home, stop trying to save for your grandchildren. Your grandchildren don't want your house. They don't want your house.
Nowadays, they don't even want your china.
They don't want anything. No, they don't want that. So stop thinking, well, I'm going to save this for my family. Your family, family, like, listen, I'm living on the water. I don't know about you, but I am living on the water. I'm driving 3 Ferraris. I mean, the kids do not care. So stop it. Just stop. I mean, a lot of people thinking, hey, I got to give it to my kids. And, a lot of times it sounds like you were a good parent. And if you were a good parent, your kids have got twice as much more than you by their 40s. They don't want your house. Get yourself in a situation where you're having fun. Your kids don't have to worry about you. They know you're in a safe place. They know that somebody's watching after you. They know that you're in Paris sending them pictures. They know all this kind of stuff. But, just don't sit there and save your house for your kids. Your kids don't want your house. They don't. I remember I was trying to tell my brother years ago to buy my mother's house, And Jerry's like, Tina, it took me 20-some years to get out of her house. You think I want to buy the house? You know, he's like, I made a good point. All of us have had beautiful houses. We don't want to buy. So if you are, if you're elderly or getting up there and you're retired, you got good income coming in, you're sitting on a house, realize your kids don't want your house, sell that house. Just sell it. And if you should pass away, then your kids have to have it. There's all these little tax ramifications and stuff that you're going to be laying upon them in the first place. Trying to do something good.
Just in case you don't want to leave the home yet, would you do a reverse mortgage then?
You could do. I tell you, a reverse mortgage is very good. If you have, let's say, you have $800,000 in your home, and you see these houses here for $500,000 or $600,000, you can put, as long as you have 50% equity in your house, you can actually have a mortgage where you have no monthly payment, and it is a reverse mortgage. Now, I tell you one time, I get a lot of clients who are like, well, I don't want a reverse mortgage because my cousin's sister's brother from 1973 got a reverse mortgage and got ripped off. So there's so many people who are elderly and they remember the reverse mortgages of the past, the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s. But now reverse mortgages are FHA, they're government loans. So V, you're 1,000% correct. You can get yourself a reverse mortgage so you don't even have a payment every month. So a lot of times you still make that payment that you've had since 1983. You don't have to make that payment anymore. If you're a certain age, if you're at least 65, well, if you're 59 years old, you can get a reverse mortgage. For me, I know that at 65 to 70, you get the most benefit out of it. But please, my message today, do not save your house for your kids because they don't want it. They don't want what's inside. They don't want nothing. Sell that house. And
sell everything.
And put the money in the banks, and they can. If anything should happen to you, you can split it up. But don't have them fighting over some house that's dilapidated, falling down. You still have the basement the way it was back in 1987 when they graduated from high school. They don't want it anymore. Live for yourself. Your kids want you to be happy. They want you to be healthy. They want to know that you're taken care of and you're living your best life. But you're not sitting there putting all this guilt on your kids. Well, I've been in this house for 59 years and I want to give it to you. They don't care. And what happens is your quality of life needs to be of utmost important because that is what's going to make your kids happy. It's not leaving some house that's dilapidated. It's you being in a healthy spot and living your best and healthiest life. That is what they want. They don't want your house. So I know that sounds harsh, but they don't want your house, okay? They don't want your house. And if you should do a reverse mortgage, let's say you do have value in the house. The kids have 2 years to sell the house or do whatever they want. But chances are they're going to sell the house because they don't want your house. They don't want your house. So with us active living at 55 plus, that seems incredibly young to me. But if you are in a community where everybody's your age, V, I'm telling you, we're up here drinking, we're out here dancing, we're blasting our music, we've got the hot tub in the back, we're watching, movies at the top of the volume capacity. We're having fun. I mean, being in a neighborhood where everybody listens to the same songs, they're out in the yard at the same time. We go see movies with each other all the time. We go down the golf course and do their happy hour. I mean, there's life after 55. There's life after 60. There's life pre-retirement or retirement. In fact, in most cases, that's where your life begins. The kids are basically taking care of you, making sure you're fed, making sure you're warm, that you've got somewhere to go. So it's really the best time of your life. And these communities that we're showing here, you're not talking about people just rolling over, sitting in their chair, and they're just, all day long. No. These people are active. Their love lives are active. Their physical lives are active. Their mental lives are active. They're going places with friends. They're touring. They're doing things that you would never see. So, so really consider this. Now, I know we have some announcements, right, V?
I don't know. Did you get that from Daniel?
Yes.
Okay.
It says here, the Miracles formerly of Smokey Robinson and the Miracles will be live on Street Beat this Thursday at noon and live in person on Columbia City Theater Stage. Daniel, what is that? It's May 29th at noon. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so if you are into the Miracles, Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, you don't want to miss this. This is going to be May 29th at noon here in Columbia City Theater Stage. So that's great news. That's awesome. If I was there, I'd go. If I was there, I'd go. I'm going to tell my sisters.
Street Beat with Tony B. That's great.
That's great.
Have fun.
Awesome.
All right.
So yeah.
Are we done for the show?
I think we got a few more minutes. There's just a few more minutes, but yes. But
Okay,
yeah, so
the time.
you guys, if you have So I guess that is it. But anyways, yeah, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, we'll see you again next week, 2:30 next Tuesday. I'm Violeta Strash with Coldwell Banker Danforth.
And I'm Tina Lombard with Texana Bank. We'll see you next time.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you, Daniel.